Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night loving kindness class. My name is Alex. It's wonderful to be here with you today. Oh my God, I'm so stressed out, you guys. And there's no specific reason. It's just, some days are just like that, and that's okay. I get stressed out just like everyone else gets stressed out. And so this meditation is going to be good for me too. If you're new to an online class at the Dharma Bum Temple, or new to this online class, or new to this class, period, or you're not, say hi. There's a little chat box either down below or off to the side. Depends on what your computer is like. And if it kind of gives you the chance to interact, and it kind of gives us a chance to connect and kind of engage with each other. So say hello. I would love to hear from you if you're new, or if you're not, just say hi anyway. I'd love to hear from you. The ever so handy Travis is at the computer looking at all your responses. So somebody say something already?
Yes. Jean said, not new, but hi, I love your meta class, Alex.
Hi, Jean.
And then Jen said, it's good to see you, Alex.
Thank you. You too, Jen. It's good to hear from you. I appreciate you guys saying something for sure. So for those of you who are new to this class, we're just going to have this short introduction. We're going to have a 25-ish minute meditation on loving kindness, and then we're going to have a discussion. Sometimes I have something I want to say, and sometimes I want to hear from you. And I think I really want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. So if there's anything on your mind, any questions about Buddhism, any questions about metta, or anything that you can think of, just go ahead and type it into the chat box. We'll get to it when we finish the meditation. So let's just get right into it, shall we? This word that we talk about, metta, M-E-T-T-A, and this word, comes from the ancient Pali language, and it's thousands of years old. And so when translated into English, it means a lot of things. It can mean loving kindness, which is the word you're probably most familiar with. It can also mean unconditional friendliness and goodwill. You can have goodwill for anybody. And it's simply a wish to be happy, a wish for us to be happy, a wish for others to be happy. And more succinctly, it's a wish for ourselves and others to do the things that cause happiness. And so then I guess this begs the question, well, what causes happiness? And you can either answer the question outright, or kind of answer the question in a more Buddhist way, which is, well, if you know what the cause of suffering is, then you probably can glean what the cause of happiness is. The cause of suffering is our grasping and our craving for things, which leads to our attachment. And so this is the cause of suffering. Attachment to things, attachment to ideas and thoughts, and all those different types of things. All of these this negative self-talk that we have, especially these discursive thoughts that go around in our mind the entire day. And they've been going around in my mind, especially a lot for, probably the last month or something like that. And, there's this quote from Eckhart Tolle, if you know who Eckhart Tolle is, and it really rings true, and he talks a lot about the present moment. And I think I've mentioned this quote a couple of times, but I'll mention it again because it's important. And, he says, life will give you whatever circumstances you need. Oh, how's it go? Oh my gosh, I forgot it already. Life will give you whatever circumstances you need for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know it's the circumstances you need? Because it's what you're experiencing right now. Or you'll get whatever experience you need for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know it's the experience you need? Well, it's the experience you're having right now. And so when these thoughts of these discursive thoughts, come up, all that they mean is, I need help. Please heal me. Please help me. And so this is true for me, and this is true for you out there. If you ever have these negative thoughts or anything like that, it's just it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just that part of your consciousness that's saying, help me, heal me, have compassion for me. And one of the ways we can do that, you can certainly do this with mindfulness, and you can certainly do it with this wonderful loving kindness practice. And so that's what we're going to do. Okay. So everybody get in your meditation position. I'm going to start my handy dandy timer. If you're new, I'm going to be guiding this meditation, so don't worry, I'll tell you what to do during the instructions. All right? All right, let's go do this, guys. So just allow your eyes to close. Making sure that you have that seat that's nice and comfortable for you, nice and sustainable, so you're not likely to move around too much. And when we sit like a Buddha. It doesn't matter if this is your first time meditating. It doesn't matter if you've been meditating for decades. Each time, we can sit like a Buddha. We can imagine ourselves underneath the Bodhi tree of enlightenment, or whatever your favorite tree is. Ready for the task at hand, upright, alert, ardent, ready for this wonderful practice we're about to do. So let's just get connected to the breath at first. So let's just start to pay a gentle attention to the breath. Focusing your breath at the base of the nostrils, feeling the air go in and out as you breathe. Or focusing on the belly or the chest, feeling its expansion and contraction as you breathe. So let's just take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. At first, not forcing it, letting the breath be quite easy and quite natural. This not forcing of the breath is a wonderful entry into this practice of loving kindness. It's a way to be kind to ourselves. Nice and easy on the in-breath, nice and easy on the out-breath. So just for the next couple of moments, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. And now to begin our practice of loving kindness, we can think of a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love or great kindness. They can be living or not. As you just think of this person and your heart begins to get warmer and bigger even. A smile just comes across your face as you remember their kindness to you and what they've meant to you. And so you can do this practice in one of two ways. You can repeat phrases for them, phrases of loving kindness, like, may you be happy. May you be safe from inner and outer danger. May you be well in body and mind. May you be at peace and live at ease in this world. You can use one or more of those phrases, or you can simply just imagine yourself radiating loving kindness to them in whichever way is easiest for you. Be a beam of loving kindness from your heart to theirs. It could be warm, it could be cool, it could be pulsing, vibrating, or however you understand radiating. You could just do it that way to make it easier. Don't struggle with finding a benefactor or choosing a particular way to do it. You're not going to do it the wrong way. So we'll spend the next few moments doing this practice for our benefactor. So shifting our focus just a little bit from doing this practice for a benefactor to now, we can imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. You've already acknowledged the fact that this person or these people have meant a lot to you and have shown you great love and great kindness. So then why wouldn't they do this practice for you? Of course they would. And so you can imagine them looking at you, smiling, and either saying these phrases for you, the same phrases you used for them, or you can just imagine them radiating loving kindness to you. And you can even put your hand over your heart to make sure that you're able to receive all of their loving kindness. And if you meet with some resistance, there's no need to analyze the content of that resistance. Just as much as you can, breathe into that. Breathe deeply into that resistance and see if you can soften it just a little bit. Let a little bit more of that love from your benefactor into your own heart. It even helps to smile when you do so. So now we'll just imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. And now we can begin to do this practice for ourselves. We can either repeat these phrases to ourselves, or we can just imagine us like radiating kindness to ourselves in however way you want to do that. You can imagine your heart just getting warmer and getting bigger. Because for most of us, our heart is just too small. So we can just imagine it getting bigger and warmer. Wishing ourselves happiness and health and safety. You can do the same thing with the hand over your heart, noticing any resistance and breathing into that, saying that's okay. There's no judgment for that resistance. See if you could soften it just a little bit. So this is the most important part of this practice, this loving kindness for ourselves, the most important. So you're going to pay attention to any part of this practice. Do it now, and let's do this practice for ourselves. Now for the final part of this meditation, we've practice loving kindness for ourselves, for a benefactor. Imagine our benefactor doing this for us. And now it's time to really go as outward as we can and touch as many people as we can with our loving kindness. The heart has this unlimited potential for loving kindness, but it's something we need to practice and it's something we need to develop. So we can do that by just going as far out as we can. We can just imagine us doing this practice for all beings in all directions. And actually, I would just encourage that. Just go out as far out as you can, knowing that the heart is limitless. And with that knowledge, let's see how far out you can go. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe from inner and outer danger. May all beings be well in body and mind. May all beings be at peace and live at ease in this world. Or just radiate this loving kindness to as many people as you can. All people, all beings. Just open your eyes when you're ready. And just take the next moment or two out in silence as you stretch your arms and stretch your legs, keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about you. If you have a question or a comment on the instructions, what you went through in meditation, or what that experience was like for you, I'd love to hear from you. And then we'll just get started in 60 seconds. Okay. Well, that was good for me. It's always good for me. So hopefully that was good for you too. So please, would love to hear from you. Whatever you want to say, comments, questions about whatever you want to comment or ask a question on. Buddhism related. Like I said, early on in this class that I was really stressed out, and I am really stressed out. And it's not anything unusual. It's just work stuff and life stuff, and it happens. But this is a really good antidote. And one of the things that really helped is, it's really hot, and even at night it's hot, and so we have the windows fully open on the left side and on the street side, and on the street side we can hear cars going by, and maybe you can hear them too. And on the other side there's this condo complex, and you can hear a family eating, and you can hear the parents chatting, and you can hear like this little one chatting, and just having a normal dinner, or what sounds like a normal dinner. And for some reason that I was able just to kind of connect with that. Imagine, they must be having a good time up there, just having a good time eating dinner. And just to kind of connect with that kind of humanity when you're doing a class online and, I'm staring into a camera with no audience, was really, really helpful. Really, really helpful. And that kind of put me in a really good mood for the meditation. And so that's one of the things you can do. That's one of the things you can do. You can think about that, and you can connect with others when you're feeling, not at your best, or a little bit down, or a little bit frustrated or scared, or whatever it might be. Because this is a great time of uncertainty and fear. So to the degree that we can do that in this time of uncertainty and fear, is the degree that we can really reconnect with our own humanity and our own loving kindness for others. Because this is really important, having this loving kindness for others. One of the really, unfortunate things that this, living in California and San Diego, that, I've seen during this pandemic, is the just incredible selfishness that we've exhibited. A lot of people have exhibited, for refusing to wear a mask. And the reasons for that are not based in any truth and any science and anything other. It's just some conspiracy theory nonsense. I talked a little bit about that earlier, about conspiracy theories, about the main reason people believe in conspiracy theories is uncertainty and fear. When people are uncertain and they're fearful, And they have this degree of sense making that they have to do. Their world has to make sense. They have to find some ground of truth with which they can stand on. And that's what these conspiracy theories promise. They have the answer. This is this. This is this. It's the government is plotting against you. That kind of thing. And these people, and they can be smart, they can be not smart, they come from every socioeconomic background. They buy into this. People from all over. It just creates more uncertainty and fear. And so there's a lot of that. And it manifests in this, people not wanting to wear masks and just the incredible amount of racism, systemic racism we've seen. It's always been there. It's really just come to light more than ever. Earlier on in a class a few months ago, I said I didn't really think that we lived in that much of a racist country. I think I was probably just wrong. It exists and it's out there. We're racist in this culture. Really, really racist. And it's sad, but it's what the reality is. And so, this is really a time to practice loving kindness for ourselves so that we don't fall into this trap. So that we don't fall into this trap of hatred, greed, anger, delusion, conspiracy theories. I spent a lot of time in the last probably year and a half on debunking a lot of these, conspiracy theories and really kind of researching what they're about and the psychology of them and why we believe these things. And it all comes down to uncertainty and fear. It's just fear-based thinking. And fear-based thinking can be very, very powerful. And again, this practice of metta, of loving kindness, especially for yourself, is so important now. So important. Travis, do we have any questions, comments?
Yes, we do. So Jean shared, this week I'm saddened by the death of RBG. So I radiated loving kindness to her and imagined her radiating it back to me. It was comforting, but is it weird to do this with a dead person?
No, it is not weird to do it with a dead person. It's wonderful to do it with a dead person. And, I said in the instructions that you can do it for the person that's not living. That's perfectly fine. And what a fantastic, I didn't even think about that. I'm a little bit upset at myself that I didn't think about that. Because what this incredible human being and how she's fought for the rights of not just women, but everybody, but men too. Everybody, she fought for everybody. She fought for fairness for everybody. And so no, it's not weird at all. It's perfectly acceptable. It's probably one of the more powerful things you could have done because of how much our lives in this country are better because of her and how much she's benefited everybody in her fight for equality for all people. So yeah, perfect. That's probably the perfect choice you made. Thanks, Jean.
So Michelle asked, how do I keep ugly out permanently? I try really hard not to bring home with me the customer drama.
Oh my God, yeah. I totally understand, and so I do that too. I did that sometime last week, I think it was. I was just in a state, all day and all after the work had ended, and I sat down and I meditated, and that just seems to work for me, and When things like this happen, usually the first thing that somebody will say is just have some loving kindness for them. Have some loving kindness for them. And honestly, I don't think that's the best course of action. I think having loving kindness for yourself, for getting caught up in this drama, and not beating yourself up for getting caught up in this drama, can be a better course of action. I mean, I'm not saying this is the truth every single time, but in my experience, this is the truth most of the time, especially with work stuff. Because work stuff is just work stuff. You know? You do your best, and sometimes you make mistakes, and sometimes you have to deal with, mean customers who are going through a really difficult time. And it's really important that you have loving kindness for yourself for getting caught up into this, because a lot of times there's this kind of self-flagellation for I couldn't help them, and I did this wrong, and I did that wrong, and whatever else it might be. And maybe they're right. I am just those thoughts creep into our head. And so first and foremost, loving kindness for yourself, and also you can also connect with the other person's humanity. What must they be going through? This is a horrible time. 2020 is not great. Right? It's pretty awful. And different people handle it in different ways. And maybe they're just not handling it really well for themselves. But that's kind of secondary. It really is. And I've said this a lot, and I'm going to continue to say this a lot. And Jeff says this a lot in various different ways. You have to have loving kindness for yourself. In this way, you're impervious. You can make yourself impervious to customer drama, family drama, work drama, relationship drama, external outside world drama. This loving kindness for yourself, your own heart becomes a refuge, your own heart and your own mind. It'll be something that you can rely on to go to when things get stressful and hard. And there won't be any resistance. There won't be any pushback, because this will be a safe place. You need to make your own heart and own mind this wonderful, safe place to be. And loving kindness is a definite key for that. Certainly loving kindness for yourself is a definite key for that. So I would say if you only did loving kindness for yourself for 10 years, I'm not exaggerating. If you only did loving kindness for yourself for 10 years, that would be perfectly acceptable. Perfectly wonderful. And the change you would see would be remarkable. Remarkable. So remember that. Thank you.
The Poodle Freak shared, that's what helps me have compassion. Until you walk a mile in their moccasins, my dad used to say that often.
What was that for the first part? The poodle what?
Oh, the Poodle Freak's their name. And then
sorry.
That's what helps me have compassion. Until you walk a mile in their moccasins. My dad used to say that often.
Yeah. And again, that's the wonderful thing about this practice, that there's so many different tools that you can use. There's so many different ways to look at something that will help you. Maybe that helps a lot of people. That's one way that can help a lot of people. Definitely. Wonder what they're going through. There was this wonderful video put out by some church. It wasn't even wasn't even Buddhist, but it really portrayed this idea. So there's this man in a coffee shop, and something like they didn't get his order right, or they took a long time for his order, and then you can see the thought bubble on the person who's making the coffee, and their thought bubble says, my car broke down today and I barely got to work. And so they're thinking about this. They're thinking about all this. This is the stress that they have in their life, and maybe that's why they didn't get the drink right, or it's taking too long. And then they kind of forward to all the different people in the shop going through all sorts of different things. And this is true. And this is true. People are going through all different things. I think about that. I think about that a lot. I think about that more. It's one of the things I think about more now that I've been in recovery for several years now, and it's one of the things in this idea of recovery and the meetings of recovery where it's just nothing but sangha and sharing, which is so powerful. And you get to hear what all these different people are going through, all the different things that make their life difficult, and all the different things that make their life wonderful. This is a wonderful perspective that we can have, to not take things so personally, because they probably don't mean it personally. It's unlikely they mean it personally. It's unlikely they know you enough to make it personally. To make it personal, I should say. Right? They don't know you. They're just in their own, in their own suffering, just like you're in your own suffering. So walk a mile in their moccasins. That's a wonderful way to look at it as well. Did anyone else say hello?
Janie said hi, Alex.
Hi, Janie. You guys, I feel better. I feel better. I don't want to make it all about me, but hey, I'm part of this class too, right? And I feel better. I feel better answering these questions. I feel better about the questions. I feel better that I get to interact with you, that I get to share with you, that you get to interact with me and kind of share with me what's going on with you. And that's what really makes this practice work. The Sangha is so important. And that's one of the reasons why we've just vowed to keep these classes going. When we went into lockdown, before pre-lockdown, we had a class every day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think every day we had a class, right? Pretty much. And if sometimes it was two, because we have this upstairs endo, we have the downstairs endo, that had like other types of meetings, that were Buddhist related, and those meetings are still going on. I think for the most part via Zoom, and then these classes go on. I have my class, and Jeff does 2 classes, and Travis does a class. So that's 4, just up here, and then the other ones via Zoom. So, and we had to do it. We needed to do it because the Sangha is so integral to this practice. With no Sangha, there's no practice. One of the Buddha's chief disciple, Sariputra, was saying, and he also knew this, but he was just saying this as a kind of a teachable moment. He's asking the Buddha, I think the Sangha is like half of all spiritual practice. And the Buddha goes, don't say that. Sariputra, don't say that. It's all of spiritual practice. All of spiritual practice is the Sangha. So we're going to continue to have these classes. I'm going to continue to have these classes. Also I'm in the kind of process of escrow and moving, and that's more stress. Although not as much stress as you would think, because I'm pretty much ready to close now. It's only been a couple of weeks, so. But still, it's just, what happens, and it's just life. So what else is happening with you guys? Love to hear from you. We have like 5 minutes left.
So Jean shared, I'm very grateful that you've kept these classes going. Thank you 1,000 times.
Oh, you're so welcome. And, I think me and Travis and Jeff, all thank you too for showing up. Thank you too for showing up. We never really know, pretty much all the classes, like whether it's at the temple or elsewhere, do these online classes, and, people show up. And if they don't show up on the day, they show up later, because that's the wonderful thing. They can watch it the next day. They can watch it the next week, and they can talk, and they can be with us, doing this practice of loving kindness. So yeah, definitely, we thank you for coming, and I'm so grateful for your well wishes for us, for sure. It makes us feel good.
Michelle shared, I always try to make their day no matter what, and get a smile even if they weren't smiling when they walked in my store. That makes my heart feel better always.
Good. And my guess is they appreciate it too. And so that's another thing. That's a really good point of practice. You don't know how their day has been. Their day, it could have been horrible until they walked in the store and they met you. It's unlikely you realize, and this is for everybody, it's unlikely you realize with kindness how many people's lives you touch. If you knew that, you would probably, your jaw would drop on the floor, and you would be kind all the time. Is there anything else, or is that it?
There is, Michelle also shared, trying to overcome some serious addiction right now. So this helps me a lot.
Thank you. Addiction is difficult. So believe me, I know, and many people on this call know. And so all the best to you, and we wish nothing but the best for you. Being here, you've enriched my life just with your presence, and I really wish you all the best with what you're dealing with right now. Okay, guys. It's wonderful to be here with you. Let's join our palms together at our heart, please. And may the benefits of this practice and this meditation, this discussion, be received by all beings. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are. Thank you for coming. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Love to you all. Bye-bye.